Hey guys, it's Christine, also known as IvyWinter. Thank you for joining me for another Disney video. So I am going back to Disney in September, and it's been a long time for me personally. If you guys watch my channel and you know me, you know that normally I go to Disney World 2 to 3 times a year. And because of COVID, obviously a lot of people's vacations were kind of put the kibosh on, and it's been a long time for a lot of people in terms of going to the parks. And since I'm not local, like a lot of other channels are, I couldn't just, hop on a bus or get in a car and get to the parks immediately as things started to reopen up or as soon as I was vaccinated. I still have to plan a trip from the New Jersey, New York area to get there. So my next trip is in September for the 50th anniversary, which is actually October 1st. I will be going from September 30th through October 2nd. Am I right on that? I don't know my dates, but I think that I'm right on that. It's Thursday to Sunday. And I'm really, really excited. Like I said, I haven't been since December of 2019, which for me is a very long time. Not to sound like very first world problems here. I know not everyone gets to go down that often, but it's been a long time for me. And, I wasn't ready pre-vaccination, and I'm not even ready now. And now, especially having a 3-month-old, I can't exactly up and go. However, by then he'll be about 6 months, and I'm gonna be taking this trip on my own. I actually have a really good friend, Keith Lapinings. Some of you may know him. He's like old school Disney YouTuber, and now he does a lot of cool Disney art, and he actually works for the company. Anyway, he's been in a few of my past vlogs, so you might know him already. You might know him from watching him way back in the day. He's actually joining me for my trip, which is really exciting. And of course I'm gonna see Rob because he's down there, and that's a huge reason why I go down. Which is wild that I actually haven't seen Rob in person since December of 2019. That is a very sad fact, but will be corrected soon. So in my planning for the 50th anniversary, obviously a lot has changed with how the parks are run because of COVID, and a lot of things are sticking around, and some things might even change again by the time that I'm going. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how different planning is right now, and the different ways I need to think of things now as opposed to my last trip in 2019. So the first thing that has really thrown me for a loop is the fact that dining reservations are now only 60 days out. And normally we're 180 if you had a on-property reservation, and 180 versus 60 is a huge difference. It's really weird for me to not have my restaurants reserved yet, and on top of that 60-day limit, and remembering when I need to actually do that, right? Now I have to get that date in my calendar. But there's a lot of restaurants that aren't even open yet. They're slowly opening, and I hope by the 50th that they're planning to have most, if not all, restaurants open. But that's another thing that kind of throws a wrench in the plans, is that you can't just think of your favorite restaurants and book those. You have to make sure that they're going to be opened, and that really changes my thinking in terms of day-to-day planning. You guys know I'm a bit of a foodie. I like doing a sit-down restaurant here and there. I like to have my reservations. I'm a big planner. I like to know what I'm doing. So that's throwing me off a little bit, that I won't actually know that until much, much closer into the trip. Though hopefully in that time frame more things open, and then there's more available to me. Another thing that I have to plan around or without is fast passes. There are still no fast passes yet. I say yet because there's been rumors that they're bringing it back. Of course, are they bringing it back as still a free offering? Will it be a paid offering? There's been speculation because the app recently now says standby wait instead of just wait time, so that everyone's like, oh, it was very purposeful for them to put the word standby in there. That means the fast pass is coming back. Maybe, again, it's a day-by-day thing. We'll have to wait and see. I know that there are arguments for and against FastPass coming back or staying gone. Rob is a big fan of no FastPass. But now with capacity of parks going up and them letting more people into the parks, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens if they keep the FastPasses paused. So in the meantime, I need to now think about that as well. You know, what is my strategy? I can't have fast passes booked ahead of time, presumably. So what is my new strategy for rides? What are the wait times looking like on average? How am I going to tackle everything without knowing that I have a fast pass to get to, and I'm not scheduling that way, right? Like my thing would be to get my fast passes and then schedule the rest of my day kind of around that. That has gone out the window, so I have no idea what that's really going to look like. It's old school. It's old school planning to before days of having them even pre-booked, right? Even when fast passes were paper fast passes, you had to get them there. So, you know, it's a little bit more winging it. Of course, on the flip side of not being able to make fast pass reservations, I had to make park reservations. This also, you know, a new concept with COVID. They started this in order to limit how many people are in each park. It seems like it's something that's going to continue on for a while. At least that is what Bob Chapek has said. So we shall see how long that continues, especially as they put capacity up to a more normal percentage. Is this going to be indefinite? Who knows? There is park hopping after your first park reservation. There wasn't when they first implemented this, but there is now. So that is also something to think about, to figure out, okay, here's my park reservation. Am I only going to stay till X amount of time and then park hop in the afternoon, or am I going to use my reservation to its fullest and just stay the whole day? Of course, being the 50th, I do have a reservation at Magic Kingdom on the 50th anniversary, but that might be crazy. You know, I'm kind of ready to expect that it's going to be a lot of crowds and not necessarily a lot of ride time, which is on one hand a little disappointing since I haven't been there in a while, but also understandable because it's going to be a huge event. There's going to be a lot of people, and I don't know if waiting in line for Space Mountain for 2 hours is really something I'm looking forward to. Not that I know that it's going to be 2 hours, but I imagine it's going to be a pretty busy park, especially since now it is no longer an available park for reservation. They're all booked up. So it'll be really interesting to now forget the fast pass idea and planning on fast passes, but instead I'm now just planning around park reservations, and then making that decision of, is this park going to be a dedicated day or not? I haven't really figured that part out yet, especially because I'm only going for 4 days, so therefore 1 park a day. It might make sense to just dedicate each day to each park, but we will see. And of course, the last thing is that the policies are changing so fast that all this can be out the window by the time that I actually go. I mean, they are changing now policies in terms of masking, especially with the vaccines. They're reopening new restaurants as we go. They're changing things in terms of the plexiglass on certain rides. You know, there's just a lot of things are changing in terms of rules and regulations and temperature checks and all of those things that were implemented. And so who knows? I feel like every single day there's something new. If you listen to the TTA podcast that I do with Rob, you'll know that we're always talking about little updates like that in the parks. And it seems like there's something every single week. So planning is kind of hard. Like just the idea of planning is hard because all of your plans can be tossed out the window because so much is changing. You know, for the better as things are opening up, but obviously that could mean a lot of these policies and these reservations and all of these little nuanced things could be totally different by the time that I go, and I might have to pivot really quickly and totally change how I'm thinking of things and doing things. So that's kind of where my mind is at right now with the 50th anniversary planning, and it's been a bit tough to plan in this new thought process after years of knowing how Disney park planning works, right? I've done videos for years now about it, and now it is so different. I would love to know in the comments below if you've been recently or planning on going soon. What's kind of tripping you up in terms of the current policies and the ways that you have to plan? Are there things that you actually like that are implemented now that weren't there before? Are there things that you wish weren't something you have to deal with? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, then like it. If you like me, you should subscribe. I try to make videos as often as I can, what with having a baby. And I appreciate all of you who tune in and stick around. If you'd like to know more about the TTA podcast, I'll put that in the description below. If you'd like to join the Discord associated with this channel and chat with like-minded people, I will also put that in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great rest of the day. Bye.